Hey guys, today DIY project, making dead cats. And no, I am not talking about roadkill. I'm talking about dead cats for microphones. This way we can stop wind noise across microphones. I'm going to show you how to create a dead cat for lavalier style or shotgun or various other types, cheap and easy. Now this one specifically, I'm doing it for my Osmo Pocket because I'm having some wind issue noises with it. If you remember from a previous video on the Osmo Pocket, and I'll link it down below so you can check that one out, of how I tested that lavalier microphone with the Osmo Pocket, and it worked wonderful, but I wanted to get the microphone mounted at the camera on that little bracket with my cell phone. Well, we've got all that worked out, and I got a whole little rig that's set up. So let's get into this on making dead cats and getting this little rig for the Osmo Pocket all set up. Let's go look. All right, it's craft time. As I was saying, I want to make a dead cat for this small Sony lavalier style microphone because, like I had said before, any mic that's unprotected is subjected to wind noise, and I've had that problem with the Osmo Pocket. We've already tested this. As I said, I'll put a link down below to the testing of this microphone with the Osmo Pocket, but I want to do a wind test and create a dead cat. So I've got a great big fan here that we're going to test out these DIY dead cat so you can see how well it works. Now, this is going to be just for the lavalier, but I will also show you how you can make a dead cat for various other style microphones. Whether you've got like the Rode or you've got a shotgun style microphone, you can create dead cats dirt cheap, really easy. Dollar store, best place to go. Or if you have like a thrift shop or something like that, you can pick up stuff really cheap. One quick and easy way to make a dead cat is with something like this. If you have a pom-pom, you just need to cut the pom-pom open, pull out basically the stuffing, and slide this onto your microphone. You can sew in an elastic on the inside of your opening here so that it'll grab onto the mic itself. Now, this is a large pom-pom and a little overkill for this, but if you had like the small Rode one that I've seen, something like this on the end would work pretty good. For a lavalier style, it kind of looks a little funny. It almost looks like a little clown accessory, one might say. But I just want to let you know, pom-poms, they come in different sizes, work great, dirt cheap, very easy to do because it's already sewn for you. You're just going to cut a slot open, pull the stuffing out, and find a way to attach to your microphone. As I say, the easiest, sew in a bit of elastic, which will snug that down on the mic, and then you'll be good to go. And that'll stop the wind blowing directly. Now, the fuzzier the pom-pom is, the better. The longer the hair, the better, because the wind gets broken up by all the hair. That's basically how it works. Just be careful of the backing of the material. If it's a solid plastic or a vinyl or something like that, it's really going to cut down on the volume of the microphone, and you're going to find you lose a lot of the top end, all the high end of the microphone. So be careful of that fact. But pom-pom, that's one way that you can create a dead cat, dirt cheap. Another way, if you find some bits of foam, you can basically just cut a little slot and slide the microphone into your foam and cut and shape it that way. It works just as well. Now, a lot of microphones come with a piece of foam that go on to the end. They still will be subjected to some wind noise, especially at a higher wind, or if you have it close to you, just your breath blowing into it can sometimes create a bit of a wind noise. So you might want to put some fur on top of this. So if you have a bare mic, you can make your own foam attachment, and you can get foam like this in various thicknesses. As you'll see by all the hair on here, you'll see it gets to be a messy project when you're playing with our next item, which is a piece of fun fur. Now, I got a piece of this, and it's about 4.5 feet long, and it's that wide. That was the smallest strip I could buy from a fabric store, but it was $1.15, and I can make a whole lot of dead cats. Now, if I'm doing a shotgun style microphone, say something like this, I just simply need to be able to wrap my fun fur around it, like that. Now, on the end here, we need to close that in, but very easy to do. You can just simply sew this into a little tube just like that. And you can see this has got a lot of long hair on it, so it'll work really well. Now, if your microphone does not have any foam on top of the microphone, or it didn't come with one, you can make a cage to keep the fun fur off of the mic itself. Now, what I did here, again, dollar store, is this little wire basket. Now, obviously that's a little too big to cover a microphone with. I just wanted to show you this type of meshing. This is just a plastic. You can get metal. You just want to cut it and shape it to create a tube to go over the microphone. The fun fur is then going to lay on top of your cage that you've made. And that will protect your microphone from any rubbing and creating excess noise. And you're getting the full benefit of the fun fur to stop any wind getting in. Now, you can also get this flat. You can probably get it at your hardware stores, construction stores, that type stuff. This is just something I had at the dollar store that I had picked up. Now, if you're trying to attach this as you come around, you can use little twist ties, anything like that, just to basically hold that cage together, and it'll be held together quite securely. And then it's, again, simply a matter with your fun fur here, creating that little tube for the microphone to go in. Now, you can create the tube and sew in an end piece here if you want, or you can simply sew it onto the end here, so when you go to roll it around, that piece is there, and then you're only having to tack the last couple of little pieces of it. But you're basically just creating a tube. So you can create this inside out, stitch it that way on a machine if you want. So you can lay it flat like that, and then just run your stitch along here, and then you just simply would invert this after like that, and you end up with that tube, and then you fluff all your fur up. It works great. I've tried the fun fur with the microphones and everything, and it works brilliantly. Now, I've shown you how you can do this style for the shorter type microphones. We have this style for more of your shotgun style microphones. How you can create the foam, and you could even use the foam and create a round that way too, if you need to. You can get this in different thicknesses. Like, I've got pieces that are about that thick. So it's just a matter of cutting a block out and shaping it. And I've shown you how you can use it with the fun fur. Now, a really cheap and easy way for the lavalier style microphone, and this is really cool, pair of gloves from the dollar store. Nice and fuzzy. I couldn't find any fuzzier than that. I imagine there are some available. They do work well, and all I did was I first did one finger of the glove, put the microphone in, put it up to there. I was still getting quite a bit of wind noise with the fan on full, and that's pretty strong. So I doubled it, it cut it down. So what I did now is I've got two gloves, one inside the other, and then I simply cut the finger off, and I ended up with this. This is my dead cat. Now, it's a little oversized, and I could probably peel a layer off. I haven't done anything to this end. It's basically still open, but I cut a small little groove in here for the microphone to slide into, because on the back of the microphone there is this little alligator clip, which will allow me to still clip it on to me to use the microphone as a lapel style mic. As I had said before, I want to put this with the Osmo Pocket rig and have it at arm's length, which we're going to play with shortly. But to put the microphone in, it's fairly simple. I just made a little slot. I just feed the microphone in the hole. It's a little tricky because it's not a very big hole. But there we go. The microphone is now set inside of my dead cat. And as I say, I can make this a little smaller, but you're going to have to test that for yourself depending on the thickness of the glove. These are dollar store gloves, so there is no backing in this. It's just a piece of material basically. So be aware the thickness of the glove will determine how many layers you need on here. And you can peel layers off, add layers on as you go. I've already tested it. I know it works out well, and that's my little dead cat add-on, which I can simply clip onto myself here, and away I go. And this comes in all kinds of colors, rainbows, pinks, blues. I went with the black because, as you've probably seen by a lot of videos, I tend to wear a lot of black, so it helps hide it in that regards. This works out really good. I no longer have any wind issues on the lavalier microphone. Now, obviously indoors in the studio here, it doesn't matter, I don't need this. But for any outside work or anywhere where you're subjected to wind, this is the way to go. Let's test this to see how well it works. So let me get my Osmo Pocket out here. And let's get the Osmo Pocket on. Okay, Osmo Pocket on. Let me just get the adapter in first. Adapter is now recognized. And plug the microphone in. So I'm all set. The mic is now running on the Osmo Pocket. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch over to this microphone, and I'll tap it so you can see I'm using this microphone. Then I'm going to be talking and moving it in and out from the fan so you can see what it's like. But before I turn this fan on, I'm going to move a little bit of this stuff off the table so it doesn't blow everywhere. So let's just clear off some of this mess for a second. There we go. Okay. There we go. I had to reset that. We are now using the Osmo Pocket microphone. So let me just give this a little tap. And you should be hearing that coming from this microphone. Sorry about the itchy nose. Fur is getting everywhere. Let's try this with some wind now to see how it works. And this is a pretty strong fan. Okay, so I'm talking to the microphone. I'm probably about 6-7 inches away from my mouth with this microphone, and it's in full blast of that wind. This fan is quite strong and unfortunately noisy, but you should be able to hear me just fine. Let's move this in closer and see how well we do against the wind. We are now about a foot away from the fan, and I'm just going to turn this microphone around different directions and see how it is with the wind. Now let's move the microphone right up to the fan, and let's see if we get any wind noise coming off this microphone. There we go. I'm probably about an inch away from the fan. I'm talking a little louder just to get over the volume of the fan. But do we hear any wind noise? Pretty good, eh? So, a couple of cheap little gloves tend to work just fine. So let me just turn this fan off for a second. There we go. And now let's switch back onto my normal microphone, and let's get this hooked up into this rig and see how this microphone works at a further distance. I will just show you though in the lapel location that this microphone works just fine. It's really no different than hiding it under your clothing, although the material is a bit thicker. The audio still works quite well through it. So there you go. Let's get this rig hooked up and let's test to see how well this works as a little vlogging rig with the microphone not on me but on the rig. So give me a sec to get this all turned off and let's get that set up. All right, I had to run and grab my cell phone there. All right, so let's just get this kind of set up. Now, the one way, before I do that, to hold the microphone on, I found an elastic band. It works the easiest, and I'll show you how it all kind of connects there in a sec. But we're just going to get the phone and the Osmo Pocket put together. I'm not connecting it with the pin and actually running through the cell phone. I just wanted to show you how the microphone aspect of it works, but we will kind of get it lined up so it is like it's doing it. fighting me every inch of the way here. Okay, so that's basically got the phone roughly where it would be. So we have this little rig all set up like that. This is why I was saying I don't like the pin coming down like this. I wish they would have L-shaped it like they had done on the microphone, because that is subjecting to getting hit. Now to attach the microphone, it's basically just going to come up and sit up on top like this. So all I do is I use the lapel clip, and it sits in this here. There's no way to connect it here, and there's no power run to this, but it will sit in there just nicely. And I just make sure the wires run to the back. So give me a sec to get that elastic band on that. So as you can see, I take the elastic band, stretch it forward over the front part of the clip, and that keeps that clip in place. Now obviously all this wire I would do up neatly, use a little twist tie, and have it all tucked nicely in behind so it's out of the way. But there is basically your little vlogging setup. So now let's power on the Osmo Pocket and try the audio. Let me just disconnect that. Let it recognize the microphone again. Okay, so the mic is now active. I'm going to start recording on the Osmo Pocket, and then you're going to, let me flip that back at my gorgeous self. All right, we are now recording from the Osmo Pocket using this microphone, and again I will tap so you can see and hear that I'm actually on that. How's the audio sound? Now I'm basically at arm's length with the Osmo Pocket. How is that? To me, this is fantastic. Not only have I got the microphone off of me and onto this rig, and it's a cheap microphone, which is fantastic. I think it sounds great, especially for the price, but it's not on me. I've got it on my rig as a little hands-free setup now. I just need to hook this to a little Gorilla Pod, and I am all set to go. I mean, that is very cool. I'm really happy with this. The microphone, as you can see, works well here, and it works at arm's length. Now, you are getting a decrease in volume. I'm positive of that, but it's something that I can correct in post. So again, this is the audio being run from that microphone at arm's length. So testing 1, 2, 3. Let me just turn this off now. There we go. Now I'm back onto my normal microphone, and that's it. That is awesome. I am so happy that I got all this little thing worked out very cheaply. I mean, we're talking $1.25 for a pair of gloves and an elastic band to make this work on my Osmo Pocket little rig. Fantastic. I also showed you how to create different dead cats for different style microphones. It's really easy to do, really cheap to do, and I mean, I've gone on Amazon and some of the other places looking at the price of dead cats, and some of those are really expensive. So if you're crafty in any way, shape, or form, you can't go wrong. I mean, especially with the pom-pom, it's already sewn circled. You're just pulling the cuts out, putting your mic in, boom, done. Dead cat. Works great. So I'm happy with this. I'd like to know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this little rig. I will be using this whole little setup this spring, probably late spring. Plan on going to the zoo, and I'm going to do a little bit of vlogging with it to show you guys how this little rig works in a real life little setting, doing some vlogging. I am not going before that because honestly I hate winter. Not a fan of the cold either, and there's not much going on at the zoos this time of year. So that's a project for later on, something for you guys to look forward to. All right, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit that bell notification so you're aware when I post new videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. So, until the next time.